Hey, welcome back. My name is Alex. I'm a freelance videographer and filmmaker, and today we are taking a look at AESPA Dreams Come True. But first, I just released a whole bunch of shirts in the description below. They're pretty much all based off of my tattoos, as you can see by this little cat. This is definitely my most recognizable tattoo and the one that I get asked about all the time. But I got a whole bunch of other designs based off of all of my other tattoos. If you want to support the channel, I'll give you 15% off. Just click the link in the description below, and yeah, that's about it. As always, I've read the lyrics, but I didn't listen to the song quite yet. Some graffiti. Everything's very echoey. Oh, I really like the colors in this. This video is super colorful already, and I can very much appreciate that. This shot looks amazing. They have some fog in the air to create that nice atmosphere. You can see the light beams coming from the car. They're using a whole bunch of these LED light bars to actually create the backlight. These are interesting. These actually look like the little light bars that I have. And then of course there's a wet down, so the ground's all wet to get all of those nice reflections on the ground. Oh, look, there's even a little purple light right here. So it's looking amazing. The lighting is really good. Yes. It's like the same setting, but now the colors are warm. Oh, that lighting looked amazing on her face. It's like nice and dramatic. There's like heavy shadows on this side of her face. She really stands out against the background. You can see just how blurry it is. Dramatic lighting, I feel like always like really stands out. Whoa. That changed up so much. Now we get all of these plants and all this greenery. I feel like green is kind of opposite to purple. It is very much the opposite to purple. It's very like dreamy and ethereal, and their dresses are so beautiful. I love all of the plants everywhere. Oh, wow. That was cool, actually. So that's why this looks so ethereal, and it feels so ethereal because they're supposed to be fairies. The way that this looks almost looks like a lens flare, kinda. So what is the story here if they're fairies? Ooh. Okay, I like the water. They have like a moat around them, kinda. The blue just gives it that like oasis feeling, and it makes this place feel like more of like a palace. But the camera movements became a lot more noticeable as the song switched up. As like the actual chorus part came, there was a lot bigger, grander camera movements going on. Like this real big like zoom out and zoom ins. Oh, ooh. I definitely like these scenes a lot better than the other ones. So look at her face. Her eyes look crazy. They're like brown, but they're brown. There's this little blue light acting kind of like a backlight, kind of like a hair light. The lighting is just so beautiful. And the fact that the background is so blurry, like it kind of aids in like that dreamy, like deity aspect that they had going on. I love the look of this scene too, with all of these light bars. I really like surrealism, and I just love putting lights everywhere. So I have a bias with that. It just looks so good. Yes. Yes. It looks so beautiful. The lighting is so even too. Oh, they added like spotlights or something to create these like real heavy light beams coming from behind them. Backlighting is always gonna look amazing. Wow, okay. Wait, so they're fairies, but there's also tiny fairies too? I feel like a lot of the conversations and a lot of the reasons that I stop is for the actual lighting in the video, but they look like dolls. They look really good. And that's interesting because everything that we've seen from this set has been really flat, even lighting. But here we are with real dramatic lighting. Yes, those spotlights, they add so much. Is she underwater? Her hands kind of made wings. These subtitles are really not helping me at all. I love the look of this set. The camera is at an angle instead of head on. They did it both ways, like this is head on, but you see as the camera goes more towards an angle, it just adds a lot more depth because then we get like the leading lines and we get the background over here. They gave a nice transition with the camera movements too. Yes, okay, so we're getting some transitions now. Some like solo shots. Ooh, that was a nice transition. Okay, so every time we're looking at them, something more is happening. If we're gonna use the same sets in the same scene, they have to progress them so that it becomes visually interesting, or at least interesting enough to keep our attention. So they start off with adding the spotlights behind them. Now we're getting some movement with the lights, with these lights right here and back here. Same thing goes for this set. Before, these lights on top were just white. Now there's some movement. Now it feels like we are actually underwater, because I think that they are supposed to be underwater there. Ooh. The camera movements are kind of helping with their dancing. They are definitely underwater because they have little air bubbles things coming up. I like that, the little heart, little neon heart. Ooh, oh, that is gorgeous. That is so pretty. Set-wise, this is relatively easy. They made a pool and some rocks, probably with like foam or something. And then this purple sky that we're seeing is just an infinite white background. It's the small attention to details. The wings are so bright, they would bloom the light, and we're actually seeing the light fall off onto the rest of her. I don't understand why there's two different like species of fairies. Like if they're fairies, why are there small fairies? I don't know. They're underwater fairies. I don't understand the lore here. Oh, their individual shots looked amazing. I didn't stop on this earlier, but this was pretty much how I knew that they were underwater, is because of the scene. All of the coral and stuff around her. They're doing two things to draw our attention directly to her. Obviously she's in the center, but they helped create a frame around her by like, you know, not putting any coral right here and just directing our eyes to her. But they're also doing that with the lighting. She is like so brightly lit, and then the edges are so dark. So that in itself just draws our attention directly to her. Oh, that's pretty. That is very beautiful. Wow. Yes, I love the lighting with the wings. Even the small fairy or butterfly or whatever it is creates light on her. That's what makes everything so realistic, is if something is supposed to be lit, you have to have the light go on your subject. They are also doing that with all of the wings. The wings are supposed to be brightly lit, so they have that light fall onto them. There's like flashing lights everywhere. Oh. Okay, well that changed a lot. What just happened? They're in space now. Everything just changed. It took a whole 180. This is a cool effect. They're using a robotic camera arm and it's slowly moving around. And then later on, they speed that up. So they're moving so fast, but then the camera movement is doing what it's supposed to do. Oh, okay. Now they're in a simulation or something. That's beautiful. I like the lights coming above their feet. Why did they wait the last like 30 seconds to change everything up? That looks amazing. That switch up was so random. What AESPA video should we look at next? Let me know in the comments below. I want to give a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, specifically Charity, Jemmy, Kimberly, Lisa, Lucas, Melissa, Miss Heiju, and Victoria. If you don't have access to Patreon where you are, I do have YouTube channel memberships now where I'll be uploading as much Patreon content as I possibly can. Again, if you want to support the channel, go get a shirt from the link in the description below. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that, and all right.